Hello everybody and welcome back to the second part of the FM20 experiment where we give £1 billion to a Premiership club, and in this case it is Manchester United. As we saw from the first 3 years, we've gone through another 5, but the first 3 years they haven't been doing very well at all. They've spent a lot of money, in fact they've spent virtually nearly all of the money, and they're just hanging in on there in the top 6. They've gone through no end of managers. Okay, there's a drastic change here as well. So we left them in the 21-22 season where they finished 6th, and it looks like they've been on the rise since. I don't think they've actually won it yet. They finished 5th, then they rose to 4th, 5th, and then they've got comprehensively a 2nd. So let's just have a look at managers firstly. Right, okay, they've gone through a couple of more managers. So after Neil Wood, their interim, they had Halihodic, I think that's how you say it, or it's probably, he got the sack after nearly 3 years. He got 3 cup wins. He won the Euro Cup, the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup. This chap here, he resigned from the role just after 2 years. Carabao Cup. So they can win the cup competitions, and now they've got Jorge Jesus. He was at Benfica. So he's managed Portugal, Bilbao, FLA. So he's been manager for a fair while. He's 72 years old. So he's been in there for just over nearly a year. 67% win percentage though. 9 lost in 50-60 games. That's not too bad. So when we left them, they had just finished the 21-22 season, and they did finish in 6th. Quite disappointingly. So let's move on to the following year. What did they do there? They moved up to 5th. That's a big improvement. 75 points this time. Following year, we're moving into 4th position now. So they're getting closer to the top. 70 points get there. They've only lost 8 games. Again, the games are like Bournemouth, Wolves, Burnley, Palace, Newcastle. Yeah, games that they should be winning. Norwich as well in there. 24-25 season, United dropped back down to 5th spot after that, but they're getting the higher points, so 77 this time. 25-26 season then, we see United going to 2nd, 84 points, their highest haul so far. 26 wins, 6 draws and 6 losses. They lose to Arsenal, they lose to City, Chelsea, so they're losing to the top teams, but Leeds, they did lose to Leeds twice. That isn't clever. And the final season where we're at, they finished in 2nd spot. This time a lot closer to the top, only losing out by a point. And they lost the least games. They lost to Bournemouth. That could have been pivotal. So if we just have a look at the schedules and just see where they faltered and where they finished off in all the competitions. There was a Smalling testimonial, De Gea testimonial as well, which they convincingly lost. So in the league then, they had a very good run towards the end of the season, which is quite pleasing as well, just a couple of bad results. But that's looking a lot better. They faltered at the beginning. They did pick up and they kind of raced up the top of the table there. FA Cup, not past the 4th round, and it was against Brighton as well, so that's really poor. Carabao Cup, which we know they are winning now. They beat West Ham, Bournemouth, Exeter, Leicester and Arsenal in the final. That's not bad going as well. Who scored there? Wan-Bissaka is still there, which is good to see, and Jesse Lingard too. Right, in the Euro Cup then, they managed to get to the final and they won. They won the Europa League, getting right to the final. They beat Dortmund in the 2nd knockout round. It looks like there was just one leg in that one. They get through the group stage with ease. Aberdeen, more notably, in their Spartak Moscow and Sivasspor. But yes, Dortmund, Leipzig twice on aggregate over 2 legs, and then they beat Lazio, close call, and then they won on penalties against AC Milan. Right, the 23-24, they did, like I say, get to the FA Cup final, losing to Man City. So they were in the Champions League that season after winning the Europa. So how well did they do? They beat Sporting in there. They had Atletico Madrid, which they drew, lost to Inter Milan, beat Inter in the return game. They also beat Atletico, so they get through to the next knockout round, which they lost to Milan first leg and then drew and then got knocked out by Milan. So Milan exacting revenge on them in the end. Carabao Cup though, 4th round, they've lost to Man City 4-0. That is awful. Did get to the final of the FA Cup, so that is Quite an improvement on the previous seasons. They started off quite well in the 24-25 season. They won this friendly cup, which is nice. Again, a Champions League football once again. They beat Leipzig. They were Besiktas they beat. PSG they lose though. And then they drew with them at home. But they do qualify from the group stage, I think they did. The knockout stage there, they beat Inter quarter-finals. They beat Bayern and drew. So they qualify through there. That's quite impressive. They played Barcelona. They won the first leg and the second. So they got to the final yet again. And yet again, it's AC Milan in the final. AC Milan must be one of the top European teams so far. They get to Club World Championship Group E as well. No FA Cup and no Carabao Cup. The Carabao, they got to the quarterfinals. Beat Liverpool in the cup final. No, they won the cup final against Liverpool. So that is really good. So that's a big improvement. We know how well they are doing it in the Carabao Cup. Fourth round, they got knocked out by Man City, which they played 3 times on the bounce in the space of a week. That's horrible. That is absolutely horrible. 25-26 then. Again, they started off very well. They lost in the quarterfinals of the club championship to Arsenal, no less. So that's unfortunate. In fact, they started very well in the Premiership. In fact, they've... up until December, they were doing really well, and then they just had a few bad results there. But they started off very well. Europa League, Leipzig, Maribor, and Legia. Is that Legia Warsaw? Must be. So they must have qualified out of that group with ease. I think they may have won all the games. I think they did. I think they won all their games. So they get to the knockout stage, first leg. Yes, they go through past Atletico Bilbao. They get to the quarter final, and they go through on away goals. They lost 3-2 away from home after being 1-0 up, but they do progress on away goals, and they made it count in the semi-finals because they beat Man City yet again 3-0. They lost 2-1, but the damage was already done, and they get to the final and they lose to Barcelona. So they are getting to the finals. Carabao Cup third round. They get through on penalties against Norwich. They get through Watford. Quarterfinals, they beat Chelsea this time. That's nice to see. Lose to Liverpool in the semi-final first leg. Oh no, they win on penalties. So we get to a final and they win the final. Of course they do. It's the Carabao Cup, the meaningless cup. The FA Cup, they beat Stevenage. Arsenal, they get past Arsenal. That's quite impressive as well. Bournemouth, they go through and they lose to Chelsea in the quarterfinals. It's a tough old game, isn't it? Really is. But that's really impressive, getting to another final in the Europe. That's really good. Right, going on to the final season then to look at. So they get into the Champions League because they finished second as well, I think. And they finished second in this season as well. And once again, they get off to a flyer of a start. They have a little bit of a hiccup in the middle and they finish off strongly as well. They had a short testimony. 31 years old. Still with the club though, which is really good. Beat Feyenoord. They beat... Barcelona, wow, away from home as well. That's impressive. Shakhtar, they draw with Shakhtar and they beat Feyenoord. Did they beat Barcelona? No, they lose to Barcelona away, but they do progress. The knockout stage, they beat Roma. Yeah, they like playing against Roma United. Quarterfinals, carry on past Lazio with ease. Semi-finals, looks like they're going to another final. They beat Milan this time. It's United Milan all the way, and they lose to Arsenal in the Champions League final. Wow, that must be so disappointing after getting past the likes of Barcelona and Lazio and Carabao Cup. We must have won that one though, because we seem to win. That's the only competition we do win. Blackburn, we beat 4-1. Millwall, we go past. Quarterfinal, Chelsea, that's another good result, and they get knocked out by Tottenham in the semi-finals on aggregate, quite convincingly 5-3. That is a massive. The first leg away defeat was must have been damaging enough. The FA Cup then start off in the third round against Cheltenham. Then they beat Palace and get knocked out by Liverpool. That's it's Liverpool, AC Milan, Chelsea or Arsenal and Man City. They're the other teams we tend to lose to in the critical times. But that's not bad. That's very, very impressive by United though. They have improved quite a lot. Let's just have a look at their transfer histories then. So they spend another 126 and they get rid of 30 million. Wow. Berisha's gone out on loan. Who went? Chong went to Alves 4.3 rising to 7.5. Phil Jones has gone to transfer board, so they finally get rid of him for nearly 8 million. Andres Pereira has gone to Spartak Moscow for 12.75. Very, very good stats, though, I must admit. I mean, how is he doing in Moscow? He's not doing that well, to be perfect. He's playing, but he's not doing very well. There's a lot of players out on loan. James Garner has gone out to Derby, 1.4. Berisha then got sold to Southampton. And that's about it. A lot of people out on loan. But who did they buy? So the Valon Berisha for 18 million. Fabio Silva from Porto, 24 years. Oh, I tell you what, that is a superb buy. Absolutely superb. Beno da Costa, 875,000. Godfrey from Norwich, 39 million. Player from the centre back. Wow, okay. 29 years old. He's English, so maybe they must be thinking of that. Raspadori from Sassuolo for 4.5. Malasalvic from Fulham, rising up to 15 million. That's a massive jump, that is. Okilishi for New York, 2.6, and then 1.4 for Sean from Monaco. Right. Following season, then 104 million for Vinicius Junior. How old is he? 26 years old. I tell you, that is a steal. He's still with Man United, which is good, and he is putting the ball in the net. Probably not as much as you would expect from a £104 million striker, though. It has to be said. But he is a winger, not a striker. My mistake. Wow. I didn't expect. That's not bad then from a winger. But it's an awful lot of money for a winger. Jamal Lewis, another player from Norwich. Okay, he's a left back. So what happened to Shaw? Did they get rid of Shaw? Did Shaw retire? Brad Fletcher from Hearts, 2.5. Moulin for 4.5, rising up to 10. And then 52 million for Ronaldo Camara. There has to be a Ronaldo somewhere, though. An attacking midfielder, also Portuguese as well. I don't think you can get any closer than that. How's he doing? He's still with United. He went out on loan, and he's not doing too bad, is he, actually, really? So who do they release? Wan-Bissaka, he's gone to Everton for 20 million. Wow. There's a lot of players out on loan. Brandon Williams is out on loan still. Shabalotsky, midfielder. I suppose they've got a couple of other midfielders in, so they do get rid of a few. And then just a couple of youngsters on the fringe there. Right, let's move along to the following season. They did spell 206 million, though. 39.5 million brought in. Cutrone from Wolves, 82 million. You're having a laugh. 29 years old. 51 goals, though, in 94 appearances, though, for United. That's got to be good. 120 overall in 309 games. It feels like it should be more than that. He has been putting the ball in the net, though, double figures each season, so that can't be bad. Hakimi from Barcelona, 43 million. That's really good. Inoni, 11 million. Blanco, Vigo, 24. Ando Corella from Barcelona, 33.5. Another left back. They do like these left backs, don't we? And this season, Decore, he's gone to Newcastle, 16.5. Laird's gone to 2.1. It's quite a few, 240 million, so they've had a bit of a clear out then. Who are the big ones? 8 million. Who's this chap? 24. There we go. Lingard has gone to Wolves. How old is he? 24. 34 years old. He's valued at nothing now. He's near retirement. He's not really had it great, though, since he left United. He's had a few good seasons with Wolves and he's gone to West Ham. Anthony Martial has gone to PSG for 50 odd million pounds. He's still only 31. He's still probably got a couple of years left in him. 63 in 205. It's not an awful lot, but he's been putting it away for PSG, though. 13 and 33, so that's not too bad. He's won the French league twice, obviously. 37 million to Anguini to Barcelona for 40 million. Ricardo Pereira, he's gone there. 26 million for Carrasco. Scott McTominay has gone to Brighton as well. How old is he? He's 30 years old now. Players are moving on, but 240 in, so it looks like they've had to cut a lot of stuff there. Right, 25, 26 there very quickly. Just a couple of transfers. 168, Joel Felix. Player that I think United should also try and get hold of, but they did wait till he's 27 years old this time. He has come to United. 27 goals in 68. I tell you what, that is impressive. He's attacking midfielder as well. 16 goals in his first season, 6 assists, then 11 and 8. He's getting involved. 62 million on Laptev from Hoffenheim. A right winger. Nice. I like to see wingers. 16 goals in 135. But for a winger, you want to expect assists. Not an awful lot apart from that season there. And then, of course, to get the Pizarro from Milan. Right, but they sell out another 210 million. Who have they gone there? Graham Vaughan. Any big ones in there? 53 million. Bergwijn, he's gone to Zebra. Bridge has gone for 12.5. There's a couple of the youngsters that have gone. 81 million. Fabio Silva. Did they get his money back? 28 goals in 70, that's not bad at all. For a striker though, it's not that impressive. It's not great. I would have expected a lot more than that. Declan Rice has gone out on loan. Why have you gone out on loan? Shaw's even out on loan. I mean, the guy, how old is Shaw now? He's 31 years old and they're putting him out on loan. 8.5 for Angel Gomez, who's gone to Club Bruges. 23 million for Ruben Blanco the last season. 225 million, so they've obviously having an intake of money from probably winning the Champions League. But they've spent 103 million on Moriba. Who is this guy? He's a midfielder. He's played 34 appearances for United, scoring 10 goals already. So I suppose it's not too bad from midfield. Porto from Atalanta, 46, a right winger. So we're getting all these wingers and people in, but are they actually doing anything? Angelino, 36 million. So they are spending. Another left back. But he's 30 years old. Why are you spending money? I think they're doing it for quick fixes. Roxell from Reims and then 30 Jordan Pickford. Wow, they get him. So what happened to De Gea? Did De Gea retire in the end? We're all going to have a look at that. So where is De Gea? 42 million we sell out. De Gea, he's gone to 0%. Wow, why get rid of it? He's 36 years old though, I must admit. So when somebody comes knocking on for about 18 million, I suppose you let him go now. He's had a very, very good career with United. 265, conceding 526. I doubt it very much. He's still on his game, look. He's only conceded 24 and 35. Luke Shaw has gone to Crystal Palace for 16, and Brad Fletcher, the only other notable numbers being sold. Out of interest also, let's have a look, see how much money they have got left. So finances, so they've got 157 million pounds. The transfer budget is 94 million, I think it is, and this has got about 60 million, 6 million on wage budget, so that's not too bad at all. So they've still got the money and they're still going strong. Facilities, top notch as you would expect. They haven't changed the ground though. Expansion capacity is up to 95, so they're not even thinking about that at the moment. So on a whole, United look quite good though, to be perfectly honest, but that Premiership is still elusive whichever way around we look at it. So what we'll do, we'll move on to 2039. So that's another 12 seasons, I guess, and we can have a pick through that and we'll finish the season off there. So we will have gone 20 years into the future and just see how well they have done. But as a whole, they've not done too bad. Success is starting to come slowly but surely. It's only the last couple of seasons, so we'll see what happens then. So if you enjoyed that, please pop a like on there. If you'd like to see more on YouTube channel, please subscribe. Click that notification button as well so you don't miss the next episode. Until next time then guys, thank you very much for watching. Thank you.